This is a companion video to a video I had previously done in a Sprinter 144. This is the smallest Sprinter they make, 144 wheelbase. And my intention with any van I build is to give you a sense of space, let them live larger than they actually are. Because I gotta tell you, living in a van is no easy task. It takes some patience and it takes organization. The minute you let something get out of place, you've got a big mess on your hands. So they've got to live large and they've got to live practically. Workflow, living flow. So previous video was an interpretation of a floor plan based on my clients' wants, needs, and must-haves. We'd have phone conversations, we'd have emails. And that was what I came up with to address her features. She had a chance to look at that video. As many of you had, I got a tremendous response from that video. It was a great layout. Client took a look at the video and decided to move in a different direction, a different personality, so to speak. And so the reason I want to maintain these two videos as companion videos that you would watch back to back or side by side is because it's amazing to me that with the same feature set in each van, the floor plan is completely different. The personality is completely different. Same feature set, but a different approach. And that's the beauty, that's the wonder of designing these cardboard floor plans for my clients. Hello. Welcome to Cardboard Township. These are the cardboard modules that I build before we start actual construction in every van. I let the clients walk through a cardboard rendition of what the van's going to be like. It's much better than a two-dimensional plan. You can look at all the drawings you want, but if you can walk through a van that's built to spec, that's the best way to do it. So this only took me 4 days because in a brief minute, it takes us about a half a week to do a full cardboard build out with cardboard tape, stick framing. This one is as interesting, but in a totally different direction. Let me show you. Living area, okay? We've got 30 inches from the seats to the modules, 30 inches to the refrigerator, 30 inches to the shower box. Wide open area with a sliding door access on either side, both sides. Very unique Sprinter van. You don't see this. And this owner wants to maintain that feature. She wants to be able to come in and out on either side. Options. So now she doesn't have to worry about how she's going to park. She must back in because of this. No, she can use either side. I might even suggest if she wants an awning, we do an awning on each side. So she's got an ambidextrous patio van. So as we move rearward, you're going to see that this has an aisle that goes front to back. The entire center aisle of the van's wide open. All our modules are on the sides. So right here, we've got our 2-drawer refrigerator. This is the DR160 fridge freezer drawers. This is a great unit. It's not this high, it's a counter height fridge freezer. It would go under the counter. It's full 24-inch depth. We raised it up onto a utility box. We brought it up 10 inches. Now what I'm going to do with that 10 inches, as I said, this footprint is 27 left to right and 24 deep. So 27, 24 by 10. I'm going to find a water tank. Let me judge the capacity of that water tank. What better place to put a water tank than dead square on the floor right ahead of the wheel well, right? Beautiful spot for a water tank. Directly across is the shower box. Okay, this is a 24 by 32 interior net shower box, right? So now you can see This is basically architectural design 101. You've got a large living space, and to move through into the next large living space, you've got this narrow hallway. Now, these two boxes need to be here in order to keep those doors wide open. There's no way I can stagger them. I want the same 28-inch opening on either side for these sliders. This is not a terrible situation. This is a 20-inch alley right here. 20 inches. You pass through the 20 inches, then you arrive into another big open area. As you pass through this hallway, you come into another open area. This is the galley. This is the work area of the van. This is a 144, okay? This baby's living like a 170 at the very least. I might even call it the Class A of 144s. Anyway, right here is your galley area. And this galley, as it stands, is 44 inches long. We've got a nice big sink. Nice big sink. That's offset. Offset for a reason that you'll understand in a moment. So you got this counter area. You've got this counter area on top of the fridge, a bank of drawers. And again, depending on where I'm going to be able to place my water tank, if I feel that 27, 24 by 10 is a sufficient amount of water for my client, that's where we'll put the water tank. Then I've got room here for some drawers. But I also have my wheel wells underneath these two areas right here. This countertop cabinet box and the galley box. So we're going to make best use of these areas in terms of drawers. And also, something I like to do is put in just a small 6 or 8 inch shelf above the galley. You know, the tendency is to pack in more cabinets, and what you end up with is this tight area that you've got to walk down. Yeah, great, you got a lot of storage, but it's not living well. You just don't feel, you feel like you're closed in, like you're living in a shoebox. So I like to keep it open. One of the ways to achieve that is to not have wall cabinets on both sides in the living area. So I put a nice little shelf here. On this side, I've got what I would call a pantry. This backs right up to the shower box. It's important, and you'll notice in all my builds, I put a pantry right alongside the shower box. Why do I do that, you ask? Well, where are we going to put the plumbing? Where are we going to put the feed lines and the diverter controls in the shower? If I've got that side open into the living area, this is where I bury those plumbing supplies. So in the shower, the diverter and the water head are on this end, the rearward end of the shower. And I'll steal 4 inches of this pantry and I'll bury my components in there, my hot and cold water, back of my diverter, right? With an accessible panel. You never know it's there. So that's why we always put a pantry on the back side of a shower. This one, of course, is sharing a bit of the wheel well. It's important for me to grab the bottom of this cabinet and the bottom of this pantry for my mechanicals. I've got my battery, I've got my inverter, I've got my breakers, my big fuses. Then up here, I'm going to give her 2 nice AC/DC breaker panels. So there's one set of big breakers, and then you have subsets of smaller breakers. And then, of course, the lights are done with blade fuses. As we move further down the line, we've got a countertop here and a countertop and sink over here. I'll probably get a drawer or 2 in this one, and I'll probably get a drawer in this one. And like I said, save the bottom for my mechanicals. Wheel wells under there. Did I say fender wells before? I meant wheel wells. So now let's go back to the dinette. So now moving further down the van, right? I haven't changed my camera position. I'm just walking it down the aisle. All one long aisle. Remember what I said? 144. Big open area. We come through a tighter spot and then we open up again and we've got all this usage right here. Then we come further down and we have a dinette facing benches. okay, opposing facing benches. And these are here to take advantage of the romance that is van life. You can sit here and have your breakfast with these doors open, and you're backed up to a beautiful vista, and you can relax back here and look out the vista. Very romantic. It's an Instagram moment, if I do say so. So this is the dinette. It will have a lagoon table right here in the middle, obviously. And again, we've got storage boxes here under these benches. If I can keep my mechanicals up here in these areas, then these are going to be massive storage boxes with the lids coming up to open them. Now the bed, this is also the bed. This was the request from the client. She didn't want more sleeping area than this. I actually gave her a little bit more than what she was asking for. This is 28 inches, which is 1 inch wider than I put in my mini-me's. So I know 28 is going to be sufficient because I've got 5 mini-me's on the road now, and they all love their mini-me's. I haven't heard one complaint. So you see me ducking under here as I talk to you. That's because in the back, over this dinette, is a massive storage cabinet. We really took advantage of this space back here. It's 16 inches deep, and obviously it spans east-west. It's going to be it's 16 wide and 18 inches deep. This is big, very big. And it partners up with this wall cabinet over on this side. So the lagoon table will drop down, and this will become her bed, okay? One of the things we're going to work on engineering properly, if you remember when I was talking to you in the kitchen, the sink, the nice big sink, was occupying a good majority of this galley top area. You didn't have a lot of prep space. You had some here, you had this up here. Well, we're going to engineer the seat backs to come up and lock in place when she's cooking. Remember what I said? There was a focus on the galley, focus on cooking. So now she's got a massive prep area for cooking on both sides. Hey, this one's been giving me trouble. It's an incorrigible seat back. So look at this. So here you go. Now, if you raise your lagoon table in the middle, you're back to a U-shaped galley for prep. Boom, boom, boom. See what I did there? I gave her the big cooking area, but only when she needs it. As some of you may be thinking, hey, George, what happened to that nifty shower box armoire thing you were going to do? Remember it was going to swing out? I'm still working on that design. But in this case, in this layout, I think I've got something figured out. This whole side wall of the shower box is going to be on rails right up here in the ceiling. Okay? 2 rails. And during the day, this area could be the armoire inside the shower box. Or you just pull it out all the way to the seats. How deep is this shower? What did I say? It was 36 on the inside, 30 inches. So that shower box, that armoire box will pull all the way out to this bench seat, this seat right here. Now, you can leave it in that position. You can leave your armoire open right here and leave the shower open. Doors closed. But if you want the access on both sides or just this side, close the armoire back into the shower and you have access here. Now that armoire, I haven't decided if it's going to go right down to the floor and it comes out with the toilet, or does it go to the top of the toilet and you pull it out to use the toilet? Now, when you want to take a shower and you pull this armoire box all the way out, the back wall of the armoire box comes over here and marries this wall and becomes waterproof with a seal around it. And then you'll have a Nautilus door. That's the flexible squeegee door to take your shower. So a very tidy package, full shower, full standing hard-walled shower, which was a request. And we also get to work on that armoire again. I think this time we got something here. We're going to put that thing on rails. It's a big box. It's on rails with wheels or linear bearings. Pull it out, bring it back. So now that we don't have a garage, so to speak, for storage back here, we'll have some storage under these bench seats, but not enough for a bicycle. So what I'm going to propose, originally, I was going to take the spare tire out from under the van and mount it here on an owl rack. I've done owl racks. They're very nice, very high quality. So I was going to put the spare tire here, and I was going to put a big gray tank in that space under the van, 31 gallons of gray. But now we come to see her fresh by design and by request. Doesn't have to be more than 30 gallons of fresh. I calculated the space under the refrigerator, and that's going to come out to about 28 gallons of fresh. So that falls in line with what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to leave the spare tire under the van. I found a box, these external monster boxes back here. I found one that will fit her bicycle. So I'm going to propose we leave the spare where it is, and we put her bicycle in a locking box. They're either aluminum or light gauge steel right here. The other option, which is kind of my preference, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're called stowaway. It looks like a big pirate's chest. They're not steel or aluminum. They're made of a heavy-duty plastic, polyethylene or something, but looks like a big pirate's chest, and it's on a swing-away hitch. It's called stowaway. What I like about that, I have one, and I've used it for trips. What I like about that is that will fit your bicycle and then some. Capacity is 500 pounds, beyond the weight, the dead weight of the unit itself. So it's great. It's a nice big trunk. It's lockable. It's got tail lights and blinkers built into it. And when you want to get in the back, it just swings right out of the way. So I'm going to propose those two choices, and we'll see what the outcome will be.